Howdy, I'm Repton and this is Repton Does. I'm out here at the aluminum factory. Take a look at the video of how we built that out. It's really purring along and we continue to add. But this is about blueprints. And I wanted to show you our stackable modular manufacturers. That's right, 4 inputs. So that means keeping things in 4 different vertical and horizontal planes so that we can stack up. Now, because of the size of manufacturers, we do have to go to the Mark II blueprint designer. So that means they don't exactly align with our previous blueprints, but it does give me a stackable blueprint where I can put, in this case, I've got 8 manufacturers here working together, all delivering to one output on the other side. So in a small footprint, I can really take advantage of this. Now, there are lots of other blueprint designs that show you shift it over one so that you get space, but that won't let you stack forever or lay out horizontally forever either. These will. Now, obviously, we got to leave the walls off. As you can see, I'm starting to finish that up. I don't like these floating, physically impossible building structures. You can see I got a lot of work to do here in the aluminum factory. So with that, let's jump in and let's build this thing. So we're going to stay out here at the aluminum factory. I've got a Mark II designer set up and we'll get started. So first, we're going to grab our manufacturer and we're going to put it on this edge. We're going to bring it one in from the edge and we're going to line up this back bar right there. So just inside of that solid line. So we're one in and sort of one back from that solid bar line there. So we'll place that manufacturer down and we're going to line up one over here. You can hold control down and point at your manufacturer next to it. That'll line it up. We're going to hit H so that'll hold it there. And again, we're going to take it over to this edge and we're going to bring it one in. So why do that? Well, we need this middle area to put some belt stacks, right, so that we can run our belts across here. Because remember, we need vertical and horizontal separation. So we got to go up and we got to go across. So we're going to end up with a belt around here, a belt around here, a belt up here, and a belt up here. So to do that, we're going to actually lay out the stacks first, and we're going to build this 4 manufacturer stack kind of in pieces, right? If we put it all together, there's so much to undo. It becomes cumbersome with switching all the things with the whole odd even, how we've done our previous blueprint designs. So we're going to build this in phases a little bit differently than we have in the past. So let's jump in here. Let's grab a stackable conveyor pole. And this is kind of where it starts, right? Right along this ladder, we know we need one to run across the top of the manufacturer. So we're going to make that too high. And then I know I need one more in here. And we're going to go 4 high. So that kind of gets us up above this edge of the manufacturer. Then we're going to come one more in. Go 5 high. And that allows us to run across the top here. Now over here, we actually want to go 4 away. Because we need this space for the lifts when we're coming up against these belts. So we'll come up against that, we'll slide 4 out, and it just needs to be 1 high. Now we need the same thing over here. So in 2 high, and in, and you could suit these. There we go. Now I like to have the poles in the middle as well. Technically you don't need it. I think it makes a little bit better, and if you were ever separating or wanted to build these in different stack sizes, you would definitely need these. But either way, it gives you a nice walkway through here. So you can put the conveyor poles in if you'd like to or not. We'll leave them out for now. We're also going to leave the belts off, right? So this is just sort of the stack with our conveyor poles and really nothing else. And again, the reason for that is because we don't want to have to undo a bunch when we stack on the two above this. So we will add our walls. And again, you know, I like the frame floors, frame walls for the look I'm going for. 3, 4. Oops. Yeah, so we're going to go up 4. 3 would be too short. And then we're going to grab that frame floor. It'll be the full 5 across. And it covers the whole grid, right? Because this is our floor for the other pieces that we're going to stack on top. So you want that on the top of each piece. You know, it's the floor for the machines above, or the roof for the machines below, all depending on how you want to look at it. Don't forget to take the walls off, or you will not be able to stack anything on the designer. So get your roof up there, take the walls off, and then we're going to save this. 2x manufacturer. And you're not really going to keep this as a base because it doesn't have all the pieces, but give it a name that you'll remember what you're working with. I'm going to put it in here in my bases section. Let's give it the manufacturer icon. And we'll save that. Now this is going to let me, hopefully, right, stack on 2 more. And I'll have some of the pieces ready to go. So we'll go to our blueprints, our stack bases. There's our base. And we're just going to line this up. All right. So as you can see, we've got the 2 manufacturers, our conveyor poles, and everything is lined up right on top of each other. So we'll build that. Now we're going to go ahead and save this as our 4x stack. And as you can see, I already have that. So we'll give it a different name, 4x A2. And we'll save that. Okay, so how do we run this in? So we got to think about belt direction as we run across these conveyor poles. So we're coming in from this side. So again, I tend to run the Mark II belts. You can always upgrade those. Most things coming in here don't need a lot of speed. Now there are a few exceptions. Aluminum casings, for example, you need them coming in pretty quickly. So just come back around and upgrade your belts. Or if you know what you're going to build with these stacks, you can put those belts in. By now you have much faster belts, so there's no reason to really do that. I just do it for consistency. So we'll grab that Mark III belt and we'll stretch it across. And so it's going that direction, right? So then we'll stretch this one across. Stretch this one across. We're probably going to get some minor clipping in some spots, but overall should be pretty clean. Alright, so next I like to bring in on the left the shortest belt and then work to the right as we go up. So we're going to grab a splitter, we'll line it up with this far left input. And because we're so close here, it will actually line when you hit that control key. Then we're going to grab a lift. And see it'll snap right down to that smaller compact view. If you don't like that, you could make this one taller. Just make sure you make everything else taller as well. So we're going to be right on there. And let's go ahead and do the same thing on this end. Make sure you grab a splitter, not a merger. Perfect. So that first input will come in along this way and go into those 2 points. Now for the rest of them, we have that challenge where things are not going to snap, right? So if I grab here, right, it's not snapping onto... let me get rid of this server restart thing. Be right back. Okay, quick restart and we're back in action. So like I was saying, we can't snap these where we want them. So we want to put a lift here first. And I've had mixed success. Sometimes when you put that lift, it'll snap right, and then we'll be good to rebuild the lift and be connected. Sometimes not. If it doesn't, go ahead and put like a merger onto this, and that'll help you snap. But this one looks like it's snapping just fine. Let's do that. Remember, you gotta rebuild the lift. It's not really connected. Just listen for that little dink there. So same thing, we're gonna build one here. Grab your splitter. Rebuild. Alright, now we're continuing to go up. Now I do like to get these aligned, even though you're gonna have some belt space. So we're gonna come up 4. And then I wanna grab my splitter again. And it may or may not snap. Again, same deal. Use that merger if you need to get a good snap point. In this case, we're getting one. So we'll go ahead and drop you there, and we just connect that up. So come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab that splitter. Good snap. Connect the belt. Piece of cake. This is going well. Okay, next. There's our 4, 5, 6. And let's see if we get a snap here. Okay, so we did not get one here, but if we put a merger on there, and then grab it, we'll get it, right? So now we're locked on, be nice and straight. Again, you have a little leeway here because you're not right on it, so you have to run a little belt anyway. But I like that nice tight group. So there's our 4, 5, 6. Drop the merger. And there's our splitter. And the merger. And your belt. Okay, so we now have all 4 inputs coming in, and as you can see, different horizontal planes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and different vertical planes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we will have no issue with clipping as we build our stacks coming up. Now, because of the width of this, you will not be able to attach your lifts on the designer. So you'll have to attach them in post, which is also the reason I build these in 4. I can go flat or stack since I have to add the lift separately anyway. So I would encourage you to do the same thing. You could try to squeeze out this middle or kind of make it unbalanced and maybe get the lifts on this edge. That wasn't great for me. It does create it unbalanced, and I'm not sure where you would start to run into issues when you stacked up or went continued to go horizontal. So I think this is a better approach, just knowing that you'll have to add the lifts to connect the top and bottom, or depending on how high you go. And of course they do alternate, right? So these 2 would be connected on this side, and if you stacked another 2 on top, then they would connect on this side going up to the next floor. So pretty straightforward. We've got the 2 downstairs built. Now the reason we did it this way is because, again, we have to reverse directions, right? Everything is going to come in from this side, right? And it's going to travel this direction to here, and then we're going to come up, and then we have to go back this direction. So we're going the opposite direction. So in our previous builds, we just flipped around all of our splitters, reran belts. But when you start to get to this many inputs, I mean, you're pretty much redoing the whole thing. So I think it makes more sense to build out everything minus the belts, and then you can come back in and just connect them. Use that to get your stack, and then run your belts the right direction. So we'll start on this side this time, and we're running this direction. See the green arrow pointing, going across. So again, I'm just going to connect those to our poles. And then it's the same process as we had on the first floor, right? So we're going to grab the splitter, line it up there, line it up there, connect your lift. Right, add a lift. Grab your splitter, we should get a good snap here. And we do. And we should get a good snap there. And we do. Don't forget to rebuild your lifts. Right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, we got a good snap point there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Connect your belts. Four, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Have to drop that merger on again to get that good snap point. Then grab your splitter. Move the merger. Connect your belt. Merger, splitter, move the merger. Okay, pretty straightforward, right? And then the only other thing is how you want to do your power. Personally, I like to use, again, the wall outlets, and we put them right up above. So we'll connect there. Come over above this one. And then you can just connect right down and then bring one out the other side, or if you want consistency, bring something out to this edge on all levels. I don't think that's super necessary, so we're going to leave it on the second floor. We're going to leave that one there. We'll go down to our first floor. I'm going to attach you right there, which is right straight down. Attach you over here. Which is also straight down, but we flip up to the machine if we attach there. And then on the first floor, we'll bring power out to our edge to attach. So you could bring it on here. I'd bring it like right inside. Maybe even on one of the, if you're using the frame on one of the solid pieces. And that's now, I connect that and I bring power in. And then as you continue to stack up, you would just keep going up this straight line to connect your additional stacks up. Alright, so that is modular stackable manufacturers. Oh, we did forget the outputs, but that's really straightforward, right? So again, I'm just going to grab a hole there. One on each side. We want to come back this direction. Might be too close. Let's see. So we're gonna grab. Now here we want the merger, so let's line that up and bring that in, nice tight. Grab that merger. Grab your lift, and there you go. You do the same layout up top, and then again you would bring your lifts to connect down, and that is your modular stackable manufacturer. Because we have different vertical and horizontal planes for each input and output, we can stack this as high as we want, or we can continue out horizontally as far as we need for as many manufacturers as we want. Verticality is huge. Getting larger and larger manufacturers, or excuse me, larger and larger factory footprints to build the things as you get later into the game. This could be a huge lifesaver depending on what you're building. So over here in our aluminum factory, we're bringing in bauxite from a couple of sources and coal from a couple of sources. We're really cranking through, and we're using these to make radio control units, which then allow us to build pressure conversion cubes. So really, really great way, space efficient, right? Because we can just keep going up as high as we need to, depending on how many resources we have pouring into this. Again, you can see for the most part the Mark III belts work just fine. Aluminum casings, they're coming in a lot faster, so you're going to probably want to upgrade the lift and belt for those particular pieces. But otherwise, you should be all set. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, again, if you do need the blueprint, like I said, I encourage people to get practice building these, so that's why I walk through them. But if you do need help and need the blueprint, drop a comment and we'll get those out to you. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.